Former featherweight champion Prince Naseem Hamed came out earlier this week and said that, in his opinion, Froch is a shot fighter. In Hamed's own words, he said, after the Froch Groves fight, he said, after that fight, Froch is a shot fighter. And that means in my game, you are finished. What I found amazing about George was, before that night, I never rated him. I was amazed to see everything he said he was going to do in the first round, he did. I rate Carl for coming through the whole of that and finding a way to win. That's what champions do. But if there is a rematch, I honestly do believe that George will win it convincingly. Froch has had an amazing career. He has won some amazing fights. He has done what some people can only dream of in the sport of boxing. Instead of going on for that extra fight or whatever, why not do the smart thing and say, you know what? Like Sugar Ray Leonard said, I have had my day in the sun. Whether the whole nation would love to see the fight or not, I only wish he retires. So that is the opinion of Prince Naseem Hamed. Now, some people may share that opinion, but one thing I have to say, and this is no disrespect, but one thing I have to say is that Prince Naseem Hamed, he seems not all there in the head to me. And I'm not just talking about regarding these comments. Anyone who's seen Prince Naseem Hamed in interviews over the past few years may agree with me and may understand what I'm saying. But he don't seem like he's all there in the head. Again, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's just how he comes across to me. He comes across like he ain't got all his marbles. Some of the stuff he says and the way he behaves is just, it's a bit off. So I don't know, really what to make of Naseem's comments. I mean, he said before the Froch Groves fight, he really didn't rate Groves. I don't know why he didn't rate Groves. I don't know. Groves has always had natural ability and whatnot, so I don't know why he didn't rate Groves. It is what it is. But again, many people will agree with what Prince said, but I don't know, man. Naseem just seems out there to me these days, And it's not just the fact that he has let himself go physically. Obviously, he's hugely overweight these days compared to how he was as a fighter. I'm not talking about that. I'm not even really interested in that. I'm just talking about his mental state. It just seems a little off, But nonetheless, that's his opinion. He believes that Froch should retire, and that should there be a rematch, which there most likely will be, Froch is going to get beat convincingly this time. Do you agree with that? Do you think the Prince is right? Or do you think that Froch can come back and actually win the rematch? A lot of people think that Froch, if he boxes cautiously, stays on the back foot, uses those extremely long arms, which he has, and he definitely does have longer arms than George Groves. The commentators, the Box Nation, the notoriously terrible Box Nation commentator. Oh, sorry, no, was it the Sky commentators? Sorry, the fight was on Sky, not Box Nation. Either way, the commentators on Sky made the remark that George Groves had very long arms, as if George Groves had longer arms than Froch during the fight, which he certainly does not. Froch definitely has the longer arms than George Groves. And a lot of people believe in the rematch, Froch can box on the back foot, keep George Groves at the end of a jab, mess him around a little bit, and maybe win that way and stop George Groves late, if not win on points. A lot of people think that Froch can do that. The interesting thing is, looking at a rematch, is that George Groves has lost the element of surprise. Froch was coming off wins against Miguel Kessler, that light heavyweight guy who he fought previously. I can't remember the guy's name. It escapes me at the moment. The guy also fought Tavoris Cloud. Can't remember the guy's name. He was nobody special, obviously. Froch walked for him. Then Froch had the Lucien Boutte fight before that, where he destroyed Lucien Boutte. So Froch was really riding the crest of a wave leading up to the George Groves fight. He was really high on confidence, and his self-belief was absolutely through the roof. So it was at a stage where Froch probably underestimated George Groves. I mean, he clearly underestimated what George Groves was capable of because of the way he fought, especially in the first round. He wasn't respectful of George Groves' power. He didn't believe that Groves could hurt him. He believed in that Iron Man image which he built up for himself. He was really believing his own hype, which Froch often does. But in the rematch, he understands the reality of the situation now. So maybe George Groves was able to catch Carl Froch off guard first time around because Carl Froch was believing his own hype and underestimating Groves. But next time around, Carl Froch knows exactly what he's getting himself into in the rematch. And he's going to minimize his mistakes. He's going to box as cautiously and as carefully as he can. He ain't going to try and go in with it for any macho antics this time around. We can be sure of that. So will that change the face of the fight? Will that suit George Groves more? Some people may feel like a boxing match is going to suit George Groves more. Or will Carl Froch be able to take advantage of those long arms and keep George Groves at bay and maybe force George Groves to make mistakes and then Carl Froch be the one who lands the counters? Let me know how you feel about the whole situation. Do you agree with Prince Naseem or not? How do you see the rematch going? This is Hatman. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Yeah, this is Hatman. I'm out.